this video finds you well and you're enjoying your motorcycling and all the things that entails. Good weather, good sunshine, good riding. Today I want to look at another CarPlay Android unit that we're going to fit to this Royal Enfield Super Meteor. Now we could test this on the Vosges 900 DSX, but it'll become quite apparent why we're going to put it on this bike. This particular unit has a 5.5 inch screen, and on this type of bike it will lend itself to being a little more discreet rather than having a huge great screen stuck to the front of the bike, which is going to really spoil the aesthetics of this type of bike. So the unit we're looking at today is the RC12 by Lamtto, and we'll review this, we'll get it unboxed, review it on the bench first, fire it up, have a look at some of the features, then we'll get it wide onto the bike and we'll do a road test and see how it performs on the bike. Now the way I'm going to use it on the bike is not going to be through a traditional headset intercom system. I'm going to connect this to standard Bluetooth earbuds. I'm going to try an open face helmet, and I'm going to use the voice commands through my Apple Watch, so I can ride along, raise my watch to my mouth, ask Siri to do whatever I want, and hopefully we should get some feedback that way. So without further ado, let's get to the unboxing. The 12, and this is the Lamtto RC12 unit. You can see the model on the side there. So model number RC12. I'll give you a few other figures on there, but that's the model number if you're looking at this to purchase it. We see on the other side we've got touchscreen, DVR, IP67 waterproof, Waves of Sound BT, supports CarPlay and Android Auto, supports Siri and Google Voice Assistant. Right, so that's about it on the box. There's nothing much else to see on the box, so we'll get into this and unbox it. Get the cellophane off. And again, we'll see what the general packaging is like on this particular unit. And it pushes out from one end, so an outer sleeve on the box with an inner sleeve. Didn't want to come out. So yeah, quite sturdy box inside. And it's obviously sealed down this side somewhere. Yep, we're in. So we'll put that part to one side and we'll get the box open in front of us. Again, well packaged, protection on the top, and you can see compared to the other units we've been testing, it's quite a small device. I'll pick up my Android phone just for comparison, and we'll get them underneath. We'll pull it out. So you can see this device is actually smaller than my Android device. I'll try and put them side by side. Bearing in mind the bezel surrounds on this are quite large, so if I power this on, get some light under it, I'll just clear the things on my main screen, and you can see the size is a lot smaller. I believe this is a 6.5 inch or 6.7 inch on my Android, and the screen inside this one is 5.5. Visible part of the screen is from around that point there to about that point there, but we'll try and fire it up if we're able to. Quite sleek design, quite thin, not overly obtrusive. It's got a mount on the back ready attached, and I would imagine a ball mount goes in there. So what we've got around the edges, we seem to have some sort of, yeah, the SD card goes in a slot in the bottom, which is held in by a screw. So the screw will seal it in so it's waterproof. Nothing on that side, nothing on the top, and the other side you've got the USB Type-C charging input, so we will be able to fire this up even if we just fire it up with a standard USB charger. Right, so yeah, quite a small unit. I don't know whether that will actually be visibly usable, because obviously up until this point, especially on the Royal Enfield and on my DSX 900, I've been using this phone or my iPhone in a phone mount and using that for navigation via the headset. So we're going down quite a bit with this. The only advantage is that you're not going to be using your phone and this is going to be attached on the bike. So putting that to one side, we'll take the top packaging out, as I said, well packaged, and see what else we've got in the box. So in the box we've got a wired loom. That's the one that connects to your battery. You've got a red, a yellow, which I believe both connect to the live terminal, and you've got the black, which is the ground, which is the earth, and the various connections that come in and out of that. They're going to be feeding the front, rear camera and powering the unit itself. They're all into one connection. We've got inside the packet the front facing camera. It says front on it, so there's no chance of getting mixed up with that. So there's a front facing camera. It comes with a sticky pad and a mount. I suppose you could always screw this if you had a discrete place you could screw it to, which is not going to show screw holes or an existing screw that you could fasten it to. What else have we got in the package? We've got another Type-C connector. So this is your main connector for the system. This one connects into the side port, which is the port on the side, and it squeezes in with a seal to seal it to make it airtight. So that'll go in there, airtight and watertight. And on this they're quite well marked. You've got front camera, rear camera, key, so that's the ignition, and the other one will be power. So that's quite handy. You've actually got a separate key switch that will enable the bike to control the unit being on and off. I would imagine that is one solid connection. Yep, so that's that. We've got the mount that they supply, which is a small handlebar mount. So we'll take this out just to show you quickly how it looks. The fixings are in there for that, and the Allen keys are supplied as well. So that sits quite nicely. It's quite a good looking mount, quite discreet. And that sits on the handlebar itself. This section fits to the back of the unit. As you can see, there's a ratchet system in the back there that will go in different positions, you can hear, with a screw going in the back of that. I suppose in some terms, with a screw going in the back of that and that tightly in, it's going to be a bit more difficult to remove from the vehicle rather than have the usual thumb turn that's on a lot of these ball mounted devices. So obviously, unless you've got an Allen key on you, the chances of anyone stealing this are more limited than they are on other types. Okay, we've got an handlebar switch. Again, I won't take everything out of the bag at this moment, so we're actually attaching this. But the handlebar switch, you can get it out. Just want to get the main part out just to see what it includes on it. So it's got a phone answering feature, it's got a power feature, and a home button. So home, I would imagine phone and power. That's quite nice. That comes with the attachments, comes with a little screwdriver and all the cabling. And we're still going, guys. So yeah, this is the rear facing camera. Again, high quality camera. I'm not sure on the total specification on the cameras, but I'll look at that. I believe that if you have the front camera on its own, I think you can have 2.5K, but if you're running the two cameras together, I think the maximum is 1080p, which is still high enough resolution for filming on the bike. Huge motorcycle manual. This is pretty similar to the one that I installed in the car a while back, so it's multiple languages, quite concise, shows you all the wiring diagrams, how to connect it. So it's been well put together, well thought about. So all in all, I'm quite impressed with the way this Lamtto unit comes, and I was impressed with the one that I installed in the car. I like the screen on the one that's in the car, very, very clear, as you know, a very high definition screen. It's not pixelated, it looks good, and I'm just hoping this one will look similar on the bike. So we'll put all the loose components back in the box, and I'll stop this video here and I'll try and power this up directly off a Type-C phone charger. We'll use the lowest voltage one I've got. We don't want to do any damage, but I would imagine that I'll check on the instructions at the amperage and the voltage that it should have reduced to, and I'll get back to you in a minute when I get that connected. So guys, I've connected this on a rather old phone charger, one that puts out a fairly low amount of power. Just on the off chance, I've got a 120 watt charger there that is for my mobile phone. I didn't want to chance that just in case it's pushing out a bit too much. So yeah, what have we got on the main screen? So yeah, we've got the home screen, which is a split screen. If you go on this side, you can see that it scrolls onto different screens. So you've got the motorcycle showing there, and it's asking me to insert the camera, which we've not done at the moment. So we've got two screens on the side, denoted by the two separate sections here. We've got brightness, so we're on auto brightness. Let's have a look. Brightness. Right, so I would imagine brightness is in settings. Record resolution, rear image, microphone, turn off, turn on. So that will be the microphone on the unit itself. Record resolution for front and rear cameras, so 720p, 1080p or 2K. 2K resolution is very, very nice to have on a bike camera, so you're going to be able to vlog with that if it's got a steadying cam in it, so it's not too bouncy and jumpy all over the show. General, right, okay. Brightness, assistive touch, clear connections, touch mode, rainwater mode. No, that's interesting. So rainwater mode is going to negate any splashes on the screen, so that's a nice touch. Service, installation instructions, video, change startup screen, firmware upgrade, please scan the QR code. So that's another really good feature that's straight there, so you can obviously get a combined app that goes with this particular CarPlay Android Auto unit. So again, very, very well thought out. You scan the QR code on your phone and I would imagine you get an app. From that app you'll be able to upgrade the firmware on this and do other processes. So we've gone through all of them. We've gone through the camera, camera resolution we've seen before, split time, microphone and rear image. Go over to the system language, date and time, storage info, format the system, factory reset or firmware version. Firmware version gives you a version. It's very, very tactile and very, very nice to the touch. Really, really quick and responsive. Standard brightness is on auto. That's the home button, we've seen that before. The bottom button, right, no signal, so I would imagine that is the camera, so it's going to show you one or two cameras. So we should be able to get back out to home. Yeah, really well thought out, guys. The camera at the bottom, Bluetooth connection, brightness, home. Playback is going to go to everything that's been recorded onto the SD card. Settings again brings you to the settings we've seen. Get back home, and the second screen, or the first screen I should say, CarPlay, Android Auto, audio output. Again, audio output, it's asking you to connect an headset or whatever. This configuration is shown here. I don't prefer this configuration where the headset connects to the head unit. Your helmet headset, I should say, doesn't connect to the head unit, which is this, and your phone connects to the head unit. I prefer my phone connected to the head unit and then my phone connected directly to my helmet intercom. So slightly different configuration, but it's doable. You can do it either way. Right, so what we'll do now, I'll pause it again, I'll get a phone and we'll get it connected. So guys, we're over in Bluetooth settings on my phone. Let's try and turn the brightness down on this. It's obviously too bright on the camera. Turn the sound down as well. Yeah, so we're over in settings on my phone and it's found a device at the bottom. I'm assuming this is the device. Before we go any further, I'll just click on that and see if it does anything. I've got Bluetooth here. Yep, pair, okay. So that's obviously the device. Allow contacts and favorites from sync. Pairing request in progress. Now guys, I'm putting it on CarPlay on this particular unit for one reason only, as opposed to Android Auto. I probably will use this device on my Super Meteor because it doesn't lend itself to a massive big screen on there, but this screen is smaller than what I've been using on my bike, so it'll be a little more discreet than what I've been using before. It's bright enough, it's putting a lot of light out of what it's already set to. So while I'm using that, I normally ride with an open face helmet and just a few sets of earbuds, so I've not got no microphone as such. But what I find on my Apple Watch, it's very responsive to Siri, so I can raise my Apple Watch to my mouth while I'm riding because I've got an open face helmet on, and I can give Siri instructions that way, as opposed to having a microphone and a headset connected. So that's going to be the best option, I think, and that's one I'm going to try to start with. Now it does this all the time when it says Bluetooth pairing request, and it carries on rolling around, but it's actually connected. And you can see, as I've said in earlier videos, we've got the same thing going on, that we've got a very slow 3G signal. So you can see it at the top. I'll bring it nearer the camera, and I'm quite close there. There's no zoom in on this DJI camera, but we'll get as near as I can and hope it stays in focus. So we'll try Siri to see if it works. Hey Siri. Open Apple Maps. Hey Siri, open YouTube Music. So you can see that opened quite quick, even though we've got a very poor connection. It opened, it's aggregating my library, as I've said in previous videos. What I would say about this is it's very, very clear now. As we get older, lots of us, we end up wearing reading glasses, and I only need glasses to read. My vision is A1 the rest of the time. The only problem I may have with this, it's going to be somewhere, I don't know, 800-900 millimeters away from my face on the bike, maybe a little bit more. It's whether I'm going to see what's on the screen clear enough with it being a small screen, but we'll see. It's very, very clear. The pixel rate is the highest of any of the devices I've seen. Having said that, the Lamtto unit that I've got in the car, which was superb value, that was, I think it was €109, €110. It varies in price. I've got a link on that video to purchase it, but it's a really, really good unit for the price. Really high pixel rate. This one seems, if anything, maybe because it's a smaller screen, to be slightly better. So we'll carry on with Siri. Hey Siri, what's the weather forecast for today? Hey Siri, weather forecast for today.
The UMetNet Meteo Alarm has issued a severe high temperature warning until 2059. Should be sunny today. Daytime temperatures will hover around 37 degrees, with overnight lows around 21.
Hey Siri, open Amazon Music. So you can see it's very, very quick to voice response. I really, really like this. I'm a bit dubious about the screen size, as I've just said earlier, but apart from that, I'm really, really liking the display, and I'm liking how tactile and smooth it is to touch. And again, it's got this feature on the right hand side which I really like, which gives you brightness, camera, Bluetooth and home, so you can instantly go back. So that dot when you're on your CarPlay is on the right hand side of the screen. I think that's a great feature. I noticed on the carplay ride, to change the brightness, it's quite convoluted. You've got to come out to this screen, go to brightness, etc. On this particular one, we'll go back to CarPlay, tap on there, and we've got brightness. It's set to auto at the moment, so we'll go back home and we'll take off auto and we'll see what it's like cranked up, if I can remember how to do it. So I believe it was in settings, which was on the second page. Settings and general, maybe brightness. Yeah, okay, so it's set to auto. We'll turn it off auto, and on the auto settings it gives you the minimum you want to take it down to is 15 and the maximum you want to go up to, so it will go between them two limits. We'll go back home again and we'll go to the first screen, go back to CarPlay, and we'll try this brightness again, see if it does go up. Ooh, that is a bright screen, guys. That's probably brighter than the carplay ride unit. So I'm very, very interested to try this and see how it compares. I like the auto brightness feature. I think that's going to be really, really good. Often with auto brightness, the nits are much higher on auto brightness than they are on a manual control, so it will go higher. Yeah, but you can see how fluid the screen is. It's very, very fluid. We'll turn it back down to about 10% so we can see it on camera quite easy. We'll go back home and we'll have a look through some of the apps that are already on, and they're going to be the same apps that are on the other devices we've seen, because it aggregates everything from your iPhone over. Yeah, smooth, guys, very smooth and very vibrant, the screen. So let's just have a look at a few other things. So we looked at maps, we've got podcasts, global player. So global player again, all dependent on the signal we're picking up. Capital Radio UK, again, there shouldn't be a strike because it's a radio station, it's streaming.
You are done. This is Perry and it's Tears playing.
Right, okay, well that was just the DJ speaking. You can see how fast that loaded. So we'll go back out of that, and you can see there's a plethora of stations you can get, worldwide stations on this global player. Yeah, very good. So back home again. We'll go back to the screen, podcasts, messages, and with all of the devices we've done a messaging send test. So we'll try it on this one. We won't go on the screen it's on. Rever I use for bike rides, you will know about that, guys. So we'll try and send a message. Siri, send a message to Leslie.
Would you like to use WhatsApp?
Yes.
What do you want to say to Leslie?
This is another CarPlay test message.
Your WhatsApp message says, "This is another CarPlay test message." Send it?
Send.
Done.
So guys, as of this moment in time before we do a bike test, I'm very, very impressed with this little unit. I like the design of it. I like the fact it's so slim. It almost looks like a phone. That could be a detriment. I mean, if you have this on your dash and it's bolted down and it looks like a phone, is someone going to try and steal it? Even if they do try and steal it, are they going to make a mess of your bike if they can't get it off? Prize in a way to get it off the plate at the back? I don't know. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So for now, guys, it's a big thumbs up. I really like it. I like the resolution. I like the way it performs. I like how instant it changes via Siri. What else can we do? There's not much else I can show you really on here that's set up. Hey Siri, open audiobooks. Okay, yeah, again, everything works quite quickly. Hey Siri, navigate to Moolah. Oh, that didn't catch my voice. Siri, navigate to Moolah.
Getting directions to Moolah.
Wow. Okay guys, this is really, really fluid. Bearing in mind...
Starting route to Moolah.
Okay. Bearing in mind...
Proceed to the route.
Okay. Hey Siri, end navigation.
Ending navigation.
Okay. Right, with every other unit we've tried in this particular place, so I'm on a worktop in my home with a very poor signal. You can see at the top we've got a 3G 2-bar signal. Normally with a 2-bar signal we don't get things working on CarPlay or Android Auto. So yeah, it's all in all it's pretty good, guys. So guys, the service section, as I said before, you've got a barcode. I've just scanned that on my iPhone and it takes you to this page. On the page you've got an installation video guide, you've got an email, direct email for them, a live chat or leave messages, and a Facebook message. Professional CarPlay support team from the manufacturer. So that's from Lamtto. Very, very interesting, and it just shows you I've got complete backup with this unit if you want any firmware updates or any information or any help with any part of the device. So yeah, like I said guys, I've just checked, there is an SD card already pre-installed. You have to take them 2 little screws out the bottom. Let's put some light on there so you can see. There's 2 screws there, you take that out and there's a card pre-installed in there. And as soon as you reboot it back up, it keeps asking me to install the cameras front and back. So it's designed to run with all the camera support and all the rest of it. So we'll get it set up on the bike. We'll go through the setup, how easy it is. Bearing in mind everything's in the box, you don't need any additional tools. And we'll do a bike test and a summation at the end of the video on my views and findings on this particular CarPlay unit. Okay guys, installation complete. Now, I'm not going to say it was easy because it's a bit of a fiddly job. On the battery you've got the live and the black cables. So your black's connected on this side, your live when you pull the battery out on this particular model is on the other side. So you see the live connection going there to the other side, earth going this side. You get a separate cable which is a yellow cable. The yellow cable is going under the seat on the loom and through into the rear lamp. So you find not the stop light, you find the rear lamp that's continuously on, and that will give you a switch feed. The rear camera at the moment is just stuck on for demonstration purposes. I might put a couple of tiny screws into the plastic but not into the metal. it seems to be okay. It's pretty safe. When you put the cameras on, guys, they're not orientated up or down. They can be turned 90 degrees or whatever, so you have to turn these in the bracket before you nip the little Allen key up on the side. The loom from the backlight goes all the way through, under the seat, under into a loom that I've made underneath here, so that you can see the tails of the wiring loom coming through. Here's the gubbins that controls it under the seat. At the front of the bike, as you come to the front, all your waterproof connections are in this loom at the front. So you have power, front light, rear light, one that says key, but it's actually the piece on the handlebars. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 cables that come through to the front, this main one as well. So 5 cables you need to put on a loom going through your bike and wire them together. When you come around the front, they come up and through on the normal loom. You can see them underneath here. All the waterproof connections come through onto this. They're tied into this section, and then they're gripped into these factory rubber grommets that are on the handlebars. So we've got the main feed that comes into the unit, which is on this side, that brings all the feeds in, and then you've got your handlebar mount. So there's quite a bit of wiring involved, but it is quite easy if you take your time and have a bit of patience. The main thing to remember is the yellow wire needs to go to an ignition source that's switched to ignition. Now don't look at this connection, guys. I haven't got a connector block at the moment, so it's just taped at the moment, but I will put a proper connection block. This is just purely for demonstration. It is safe, it's not going to touch anything, but I will put a proper connector on there and get it connected up. But yeah, everything else is quite tidy. Once the seat's back on, you won't see any cables. They'll be hidden under the seat there. That'll be under the seat out of the way. So yeah, good one. Fair bit to take off on the bike. You need to take the rear seat, the front seat. I took the rear number plate and mounting off to get to the light section at the back. And basically, what you've got now, guys, when you turn the ignition on, it should fire up. And you can see the units firing up there. What I'll do shortly, guys, I'll put the bike back together and I'll show you all finished and back together. And TFT card loading. You can see from my view on the bike, which would be about, I would think about there from my head height. So the unit has to go slightly to one side. On this particular bike, there's a brace underneath. I don't know if you can see that brace that won't allow the bracket to be fixed on. Yeah, so all in all, it seems okay. So on the main display, we've got all the things I was showing you previously. A couple of screens now playing Google Maps. Of course, again, we've got a poor 3G signal, so not a lot's going to work properly at the moment. If you click on this button back here, it takes you, or this little button on the right, I should say, it takes you back to home. From the home, you can look at the camera, so you can see the split camera screen there. If you slide one way, it'll go to full screen camera, so you can see that's a view in front of the bike. Swipe it back the other way and swipe back the other way, and you can see, is that the same view? Yeah, that's the rear view, sorry. Swipe the other way and that's the front view in front of the bike. And if I come around the front, hopefully you should see, I'm holding the camera in one hand, you should see my hand moving in front of the camera. So very clear display. We'll go back to home, taking a photo, go back to home and settings, if you can remember how to get there. I think it's on this little side screen, yes, settings, and we'll just check the brightness. And the brightness is on 100%, so we'll give that a whirl and try it. There's an auto brightness mode. We can try that just to see if it, that did seem to go a bit brighter actually. We'll go on auto brightness and we'll go out and we'll go back. Yeah, it does seem brighter again. General consensus is that auto brightness does go higher than normal brightness, so you can see it's auto recording, the same as most of these units, so it's constantly recording, no for writing. And back to home. From here we go back to home again there. To give me a few minutes, guys. I'm not fully aware of this system, but yeah, quite a vivid screen on the home screen. I don't know if the Siri's working at the moment. Hey Siri, open Google Maps. Hey Siri, open Apple Maps. Hey Siri, open YouTube Music. And again, you can see now, if you can see in that top corner, we've got a very slow 3G signal where I'm actually parked up in the countryside in this old farm building. But we will get out and road test it with some earbuds and a microphone just to see what's happening. Okay Siri, Apple Maps. So you can see the connection now is quite slow, it's searching for a connection. But we'll get the bike back together and we'll try it properly on a road test and see how it looks visually as we're riding and see how the mapping works. So catch up with me. So guys, it's going to be a really quick road test of this unit. Again, it's stonking on. It's took me about 2.5 hours to install this correctly with all the wiring properly traced and connected, so nothing's on show. You can see on this side we've got multiple switches. Take a photo, rear camera. I'm not sure if you can toggle cameras on that. No, it's just showing rear camera at the moment on that front switch. Yeah, twin screen there, so front camera. So you can see in front of me the view that I'm seeing outside the gate. If I tap on it and slide to the other, you can see the review, but I will either put some better double-sided tape on them or a permanent way of fixing it. So this is pretty much hardwired onto the bike, guys. It's not something that you're going to be taking on and off. You can just take the USB port out there, get an Allen key and screw it off the back and take it off that way, but again, as with all these units, the manufacturers really need to make a quick pogo pin mount. So this unit now would pretty much go clunk into the unit because everything's powered into the system here. If you could pogo mount it into that system, clunk it in there, when you get off the bike, throw this in your rucksack or wherever, and you're free to go. This particular unit, as it stands now, fabulous unit. It's ideal for this type of bike. But anybody seeing this on your bike, you park it up in a dark alley, they're going to think this is some sort of mobile phone, and they're going to be trying to get that off there. And anyone with an ounce of nous about them will see at the back it's held on with an Allen key, and this is a USB port on the side. They'll pull that out and they'll be trying to get this out off the back, and they'll either make a mess of your bike or, you know, end up damaging something that you don't want, or even eventually get away with the unit. Hey Siri, open Google Maps. Okay guys, so you need to be in CarPlay to get Siri to work. So go back into CarPlay. Hey Siri, open Apple Maps. Okay, let's try this. Hey Siri, open YouTube Music. So again, we're relative to a signal. You can see it's aggregating the music. I won't have any music playing because obviously it's copyrighted. But suffice to say, it's pretty clear. So we'll get out. We'll just have it on mapping at the moment. Hey Siri, open Google Maps. And really, we just want to see the resolution of the screen as we ride. So we'll give it a quick go. Yeah, so resolution really bright. It's a really bright day. I can see it very, very clearly. It's on auto brightness, so it's doing its own thing. But very, very, very clear, guys. It's a nice little unit for this type of bike. So we'll just get onto a smoother section of road, guys, and we can try the navigating back home. Like I say, at the moment, even though I've got a dark visor pulled down, I can see the screen quite clearly. You'll have to excuse my voice on this bike. The suspension's a lot harder than the DSX 900. But as we get a bit further along here, I can get onto a smoother section and we can try it better. Get on this smoother section of road here, guys. There we go. Right. Right, what I'll do, guys, I'll connect my Cardo headset because it's not switched on. Okay, we'll try this. Hey Siri. Hey Siri, navigate home.
Getting directions to home using Google Maps.
And again, I don't know why it does this on Google, but it seems to want to take me about 30 kilometers away, so we'll cancel that. Go to exit and go back, and we'll search ourselves. And home's clearly there, so, and this is the correct one, so home again, about 4.8 kilometers away, and we'll see how it does. So we'll start navigation. Very, very clear, guys, saying head southwest, so open global player. So we've opened a radio app, and we'll see if we can get a radio station to play. Okay, so we've got a radio station playing now. That's playing okay. It's not playing any music, so we're not having any copyright. Open Google Maps. Okay, hopefully guys you can't hear what I'm hearing through the headset, but I'm getting the Google navigation, and now I've gone back onto Google navigation. I've got the radio playing in the background. I'm guessing that you're not going to hear any music. The mic's too far away from the earpiece, so we won't get a copyright strike. But yeah, it's working really, really nicely. I think one of the good things about this size screen on something like the Royal Enfield Super Meteor is that I'm physically only, I would say, 50 centimeters my head away from the screen, whereas on an adventure bike the screen's way up in front, so it's much further away. So this is really, really visible. It's really bright and works really, really well. So I'm going to wrap it up here, guys, because I'm back on one of these awful roads. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you think about this Lamtto unit, the RC 12 unit. I'm really, really impressed with this. I do like the bigger unit from carplay on my 900 DSX, but this on this bike is a perfect solution. It's a perfect fit for this type of bike. So ride safe, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.